Happy Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. I am excited this morning to share with you our third day in the Harness Your Crazy Challenge. So as you're coming in this morning, if you're here live, say hello. If you're watching the replay, please say hello too. If you're new to the page, let me know because I definitely want to get to know you and learn a little bit about you. My name is Genevieve Rose, and this morning on the Harness Your Crazy Challenge, we're talking about mornings meaning more. Hi, Miss Eliza. So I have been probably thinking about my morning routine for a very long time. If I can think back to even when I was in high school, you know what, I definitely wasn't the one in charge of my morning routine. I'll have to really think back. My Nana was definitely on top of that. But I do think just kind of the thought process of morning routines came from that woman in my life. So I want to talk about morning routines, and I really want us to think a little bit about where we've been for the past 2 days. So day one on Monday. And if you're not signed up for the Harness Your Crazy Challenge, there is a button here on my page that will allow you to go sign up. If you're worrying, well, you know what, I didn't start at the beginning, what does that mean? Well, you know what, sign up anyways, because at the very end, as long as you're signed up, you get all of the videos so that you can follow along and also go back to them. But day one, we talked about our expectations and how important it is that if we're looking to harness our crazy, you need to first know where you're spending your time. So that was my challenge, was for everyone to start time logging their time in 15-minute increments. So if you're here and you're with me today and you've been following along for the past 3 days, let me know, how are your time logs going? Is it getting to be a little bit more difficult? Have you kind of slacked off a little bit on the every 15 minutes? Because if you had, and that's really the truth, don't be embarrassed about it, because guess what? I fell off the boat a little bit too. And it just is one of those things that the more you do it, the better you get at it. So don't beat yourself up. And the fact of the matter is that you do not need this to be perfect for it to work. What I'm asking for you to do is just to really try very hard to do your time logs every 15 minutes. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Genevieve Rose. This is my page. This is my business. I am a sales and business strategist. I'm also a senior Seiko Mentor Fellow, which if you're not familiar with Seiko Designs, we're an ethical fashion company that does really amazing things with women in East Africa. When friends are over and you are babysitting. Yeah, so I would say that is definitely one of the areas that you find that you slack off a little bit on your time logs is when you're getting really busy and you end up just moving from one thing to another. I'm also a journaling coach, which is something that if you're following the page, you're going to see a little bit more of that. But what we're really focusing on right now is harnessing our crazy. If you're a woman, work-at-home mom, if you're an entrepreneur, then most likely many days you're feeling like that schedule is on the train to crazy town instead of productivity place. So that's what I'm really encouraging all of you to join this challenge so I can help you with just the little things that over this summer I realized I needed to harness my crazy and get it under control so that I could be more productive, not just in my business, but also in my personal life as a mom, as a wife, as a woman who wants a little bit of time for herself. So that's what this challenge is all about. So I'm so excited for you all to join me. So the time logs, I'm gonna go back to those because they are super important, all right? And every time you do them, you're going to get a little bit better. And that's the point, is that it is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. I'm not one of those ladies that tells you, hey, do this now and this is gonna completely change your life. I believe everything is a process and a system. There's a strategy to everything. So you're going to notice within your time logs, if you haven't already, you're going to notice some patterns. And this is really at this stage, about day 3 in my first time logs, I started to notice some of my patterns, especially in the morning. And I want you to look at your time logs and kind of look at, like, this is a piece of my puzzle of my entire day, is how my morning pattern looks. And that you're going to notice habits you should be noticing habits. In 15-minute increments, the things that you write down, most likely, if they're not an anomaly, which, like I said, crazy happens no matter if it's the holidays or not, you're going to notice the majority of these 15-minute increments are going to be habits of yours. So you want to take the time to time log. I can't express that enough. So here I want to give you a little bit about what my time log was, and not what it is now, but what it was. I have followed a lot of people who talk about morning routines. If you follow people who talk about morning routines, or you've tried to create a morning routine, let me know. My habits are getting sucked into social media, and it takes my quick checks like triple the amount of time. Yep, okay. So this is the way that my morning routine or my morning time log looked, okay? At first it was, my phone was next to my bed, all right? That was my alarm, all right? Then I would hit snooze on my phone alarm, and I would sleep for an extra 30 minutes. I would then check my phone, which probably took another 15 minutes because, like Eliza's saying, I would get sucked into a quick check, right? And then I would make sure my kids were awake. Again, I have teenagers, so I'm hoping that they have their morning routine down pat, right? They should be able to get themselves dressed and go to school, right? I would get dressed, I brush my teeth, and I would go and have coffee. That would be like the gist of my morning routine, and pretty much then I would get started with my day. It really wasn't setting me up to feel like I was enjoying anything, first and foremost, and two, to motivate me in any way. So now mine is, I don't have my phone next to my bed, I have an alarm. And all of these things I noticed in my time log. I was like, oh, I'm picking up my phone, or I'm turning my phone off because it's right there, it's close, it's easy to turn off. I also put my phone in an opposite room. My phone is not in our bedroom. And then I get up and get showered. This was a really important one for me. And as I had explained on a live in the past, I have fibromyalgia and post-traumatic stress from childhood. So one of the things that I had to notice was a trigger for me was that the warm blankets and the weighted blanket that I use was keeping me there because that's where I felt safe and comfortable, that I needed to create that environment someplace else to get me motivated for my day. So I get a very hot shower first thing in the morning, and that is my trigger that stimulates that same environment. So for me, the shower isn't just like get dressed and get up and feel like you're clean. It was really like this transference of where am I feeling comfortable and safe, to moving that to someplace else to get out of bed earlier than what I was. I also put on makeup and brush my teeth. So I would brush my teeth anyways, but makeup was a big difference for me. That piece of the habit, for me, if you're not a makeup person, this doesn't have to be your thing. And like I say, like, your morning routine is your morning routine. I think when experts try to tell you what your morning routine should look like, they don't know what they're doing. There are some good things to put in there, but it's really what is making you feel like you enjoy it and that you're motivated. That's the point. So that's where your time logs are going to show you those habits that you like and help you think about what ones maybe you need to delete and what would you like to add. So that's kind of what I'm trying to share here. So I also, after I put on my makeup, because that makes me feel good, that's a little bit of the enjoyment part for me. It also makes me feel like I can come here on live with all of you. Not that anybody who goes on live without makeup is wrong. It's just me. I also drink a glass of water before I have my coffee, because how many of us are dehydrated? Because all we drink is coffee. That was me. I was not drinking enough of water. So that was a piece that I put into my morning. I also, if I don't listen to Audible in the shower, because I found that devotions, Eliza, coffee, the devotions or reading my Bible first thing in the morning or meditating, like that to me, because I tried that because all the experts were saying, hey, do this. That part in the morning to me made me more relaxed than it did made me feel motivated. So we're going to talk about some of those and where I put those in my day later. But like, for yourself, if that works for you and that makes you feel motivated, it makes you feel ready to go, then put it in there, and more power to you. But for me, it was more like, I need something to get my brain going. Hi, Mary Rose. I need something that's getting my brain like thinking and motivated and, you know, kind of excited about something interesting. So I either listen to podcasts in the shower, or I listen to Audible in the shower, or if I don't listen to anything in the shower, then I'm reading a book while I'm drinking my coffee. So that's kind of where I transferred. Like, I needed something that was like, this is interesting, this is motivating, this is something that I want to do, right? So I added that in there, and then I eat breakfast. It might just be a biscotti, and I usually do that with my husband so that we get to talk since he's second shift. So that's my morning routine, but what I really want you all to see is that my morning routine will not be your morning routine, and don't let any expert out there tell you that the morning routine that they have created is the morning routine for you, because that is not how what I believe we create an environment where you're not on the crazy train. Okay, so by a show of hearts, so I would love if you could put who here has a morning routine that they enjoy and motivates them. If you have a morning routine already in place that you enjoy and it motivates you, feel free to put in some hearts. By a show of sad emojis, if you feel that your morning routine kind of sets you up to not feel like you have enjoyment first thing in the morning, or it doesn't motivate you for the day, put in some sad faces, because I really want you all to see how you can create, oh, Liza, you're going to get there, girlfriend. These time logs are going to help you get to a place where a morning routine is enjoyable and motivating. But if your routine is already enjoyable and motivating, that doesn't mean that this isn't for you, that the time logging isn't going to help. It's really about habits. So Mary Rose, I saw you put some hearts. There might be a habit in your morning routine or that you don't have. 3 boys, 5 and under makes rough mornings. And I would say, Eliza, in your time logs, you're going to find some things in those 15-minute increments. If you can really sit down and think about those 15-minute increments with your boys, you're going to find some things that you could potentially start training yourself to do in those morning routines with them that make things more enjoyable. I'm not underestimating that 3 boys under 5 in the morning is interesting. I really want to state that. I do believe, though, that you probably will find some things within your time log that are going to be really helpful. So there's like this 3-month mark, right? I don't know if anybody's ever heard of, like, they say 21 days or 60 days until you create an actual habit. I firmly believe that that's 90 days. I think that before you have something so down pat that it's just ingrained into who you are, it really does take 90 days. And that can feel a little overwhelming. To me, first and foremost, and I think probably the majority of population nowadays, is we want it to happen now. We want it to be instantly gratifying. I want to see this habit be a part of my life every day. And I want all the habits to happen all at once. And that's the reason why I'm doing this, is that time logging, harnessing your crazy, is something that happens over a span of a lot of time. I've been doing this for 3 months, and there are still things that when I look at my time log that I'm like, I want to replace that. But the point of it is that you can only replace one thing at a time. And that is the key, is that if you try to go and transform the entire morning routine, I didn't immediately not look at my phone first thing in the morning. I immediately got an alarm clock and put my phone out of the room. It didn't mean that when the alarm went off that I didn't walk into the other room and look at my phone. So I just want to be really, really honest about that. Oh, they are totally more dependent on me than they should be. I do way more for for your boys, definitely, Liza. And I would say that was something else I noticed with my kids a little bit. and Mary Rose, it does take a lot of time to figure out. So I just want to give you guys some statistics, and the reason I'm doing this now is November, December, January. That's 3 months. So if you're starting this now, Eliza, know that you're ahead of the game for 2018, and realize that if you can really work at this over the next 3 months, just do a time log, and maybe go back to these videos since you're going to have them all in your email since you're signed up for the challenge. Trying to make that a habit for at least the next 3 months, to be able to just kind of tweak it and refine it and make it something that is yours, and that's something that I really want you all to know, that in January, anybody who's doing this, we're going to see some really boss woman leaders from this group, and that makes me really excited. The statistics prove that leaders have the most consistent morning routines, all right, and that women leaders are 56% more likely to have a morning routine than men. So that should give you a little bit of a boost if you're a WAM or woman entrepreneur. I love if you have a morning routine or from your time logs and you feel confident, or even if you don't feel confident and you just want someone to say like, hey, maybe try adding this or whatever. I'd love to help you a little bit with your morning routines. Feel free to put them in the comments, maybe like the first, half an hour in there, and just share, because maybe there's something that one of you ladies have that would help, Mary Rose or Eliza to be able to look and say like, wow, I have boys too. Let me share this with Eliza that, this is something that I did. Or I have 3 kids and I remember them being all under the age of 5. Definitely feel free to put your morning routine in the comments, and that would hopefully kind of stem some conversations. I do have a post here in the page asking you to share in a GIF the one habit that you do want to get rid of in your morning routine. And for the rest of this week, you're not going to see me come live, but you are going to see me in your email if you're signed up for the Harness Your Crazy Challenge. So if you haven't signed up, make sure you sign up for those emails, because you're going to get some treats in those emails. You're going to hear a little bit more from me on this entire process. And then I'm going to be back here next Monday morning to talk about something that makes me really excited, and it's lists. If you are a list maker, if you like checklists, if you feel like you need a to-do list, then Monday is going to be the day for you with the Harness Your Crazy Challenge. If this has been helpful for you, please share it out. Eliza, you have a great day. Thank you so much, Mary Rose, for joining me. I hope you're feeling good this morning. And if this is something that's helping you, please share it out. And I love that you're hanging out here on the page. Have an amazing Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family. And please continue to hang out here on the page. I have some good things planned for everybody over the next couple days. Have a beautiful and blessed day.